I'm joined by Anna Parker from Celentano's in Glasgow and Roberta Hall-McCarron from multiple businesses in Edinburgh, notably Ard, Fern, Eleanor and Little Chartroom. And we're going to talk about winning the Scran Awards, because you both won the Scran Awards a few months ago. But before we get into all that, first of all, thank you very much for joining me. Hello both.
Hi.
Lovely to see you, and thanks for coming on in this lovely sunny day. We've just been talking about how it's been such a lovely summer. Obviously, the highlight for you guys must have been winning the Scran Award.
Yeah, it was quite a good point, I'd say.
But before we go on to talk about that and what it means for you guys, do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself and your business and businesses? So Anna, I'll start with you. So you're Celentano's in Glasgow.
Yes, so we have just turned 4. We've been open for 4 years now. Middle of July was our 4th birthday, which is exciting. We used to live in London. We moved up to open Celentano's, and it's been going well so far. I mean, it's a bit of a journey, but all restaurants are, I think. We're Italian inspired, so we don't class ourselves, neither Dean or I are Italians, so we don't class ourselves as classic Italian, but we're very much inspired by how Italy cooks, uses its produce, sets out its menu. We use, same as many restaurants these days, it's all seasonal and local produce as much as we can. The chefs make as much as they can in-house, so we make our own bread and pasta, make our own cheese, we do whole animal butchery, we make our own liqueurs. Basically anything we can make, we will make ourselves. It's Dean and I that own it, so Dean is the chef. When we first opened, I was managing the restaurant, then we had a little boy after 2 years, so I've kind of stepped back from the floor. We've got 2 really good juicy managers, Emma and Hazel now, who are amazing and run it really well. I basically do everything else that's not cooking or running the floor. All other aspects, from like social media to systems to accounts. Yeah.
And Roberta, what about yourself? I know you've got multiple businesses.
Yes. Myself, quite similar in some ways to Anna and Dean. The businesses are run by myself and my husband, but flipped around, I'm the chef and Sean is everything front of house. We first opened the Little Chartroom in 2018, and that was in June. So we just turned 7, which is, as well as, like, I can't believe 7 years has passed, but also it feels like we've had it forever, but also it still feels like it was just the other day.
7's a long time, though.
Oh my God, yeah, like
that's
it honestly, and I mean, well, when you opened up 4 years ago, I think that's almost a much harder time to open, because it's like, we're kind of during the whole pandemic and everything, so like that's very commendable. But no, 7 years. We opened up Eleanor in 2021, the December of 2021, and then Ard, Fern, our most latest venture, was opened up last year, and they're all in Edinburgh. Edinburgh's not that big a city, but they're all very different to each other, and it's been pretty busy. Again, sort of similar concepts of, we use as much seasonal produce as possible, local, really try to support local businesses. We make as much as we can in-house, from bread to, we do have a pasta dish on just now, actually, pasta and lots of whole animal butchery. Same with the drinks and whatnot. It's all as much as we can do to give what we want to sort of give to our guests that are coming to the door, a real experience. But also to teach the chefs that we have coming through the restaurant as well, just to train them as much as possible, make them see things from that kind of, beginning phase of food. So many similarities here. I had a little girl, about, how old is she now? 3 and a wee bit. So 3 years ago, and when that happened, I sort of had to obviously shimmy things around a wee bit, and life has been different since having her. Me and Sean balance our week out, where I'll work 3 days and do 3 shifts, and he'll work 3 days and do 3 services. And then we try and take 1 day off together. This is actually relatively new. We've not had a lot of routine since we opened up Ardfern. Ardfern was not a plan, but it was an opportunity, and we're very happy with how it has panned out. But it did make things a little bit more tricky. But we are now starting to get into a much better routine, and life is now kind of returning to normal. And balance is definitely been restored, so that's fantastic. And so it's been busy, but it's been good busy, very, very good busy.
Yeah, no, it's been great. I mean, you've talked about, you sort of mentioned opening up 5 years ago. Anna and Roberta, you said during COVID, I was going to ask the sort of challenges and opportunities in hospitality right now. Like, it's been a bit of a wild ride the whole time you guys have been doing this. So I'm working for yourself. So what would you say is the sort of main challenge facing you just now, and the main kind of opportunity, Roberta?
The biggest challenges right now is, it's not even just our industry, it's everyone's industries. It's the cost of everything. It is an absolute battle every day. Just the cost of everything that you're needing to buy in, the cost of your wage bills, it's like, I think the level of restaurant that we are, but even a restaurant like Ardfern, which is more casual, and we do a much, much higher footfall, but the price, the price point is lower. Even though I've got two quite different businesses, we still do the same level of, we're still buying in the same level of produce. We're not buying in cheaper produce. It's very good produce, so it's expensive. And we're not losing money, but it's difficult to make any money right now. And I mean, gosh, that's not why we got into restaurants, but you're coming to sort of squeeze things a bit more, and look at areas where we can tighten everything, and which is good because it's a bit more efficient way to run a business. But there's just so much pressure on everybody, everyone within our teams, to really make sure we're getting everything that we can out of everything. I'm not really explaining this very well, but it's just, the money right now is the trickiest thing. And we're, it's just, I guess it's the pandemic was a really separate thing. And then actually, in many ways, we actually managed to, we grew our business during that time. We were very small. We didn't have that many in our team. We were one restaurant. And so therefore we were able to grow it. And the setup that we had and everything that we did during the pandemic worked for us. And I didn't have a family. I didn't have that commitment. So I was able to put everything into it. And and it did. It was all good. But I feel like the challenges that we're facing now, from my own situation and my point of view, are harder and more stressful than what that was for us. And I guess that's just because there's no support, and it feels like everything's against you as well. So sorry, pretty negative. But we're like I say, we're still here. We're still managing. It's a festival as well. So it's busy.
I think our teams are really with the costs as well, because everything is so expensive just now, and then obviously you pay the staff well because they need to be able to afford all the expensive things, and they're working really hard, so they deserve it. But then when it's your own business, there's so many things that, because it's so costly to hire someone more senior or something like that, you end up just being like, I'll just do it myself. So Dina and I end up taking on more and more stuff, because we're trying to save money to give back to the team. But then especially when you've got a child, it's like trying to juggle it all. So there's a lot of, my day is so split. Like I leave at 2 or 3, go and get my little boy. Once he's in bed, I go back on my laptop. Like, or if Dean's off, I tend to be working, like the same as Roberta and Sean. Like, it's just this rotation that you're both just trying to balance it to kind of like, and that's not to make a massive profit. It's literally to like stay afloat, essentially. Yeah. It's really hard. The only thing I feel like, Roberta, you kind of touched on it a bit, the only opportunity that I could maybe take out of it is that it kind of pushes you to be a bit more creative and like get the team really involved and like, right, okay, well, that's an issue, what can we do about it? Or if that's expensive, like certain, I don't know, even if it's a liqueur, for example, that's kind of how we started making our own things. Like we've always made our own vermouth, but then we're like, oh, coffee liqueur, for example, it was one day it was the one we wanted was out of stock and the next one was really expensive, and we were like, actually, why don't we just try and make it ourselves? And it just like, I don't know, it does kind of push you to be a bit more creative, get the team really involved, so it's a bit more of a team effort, which I think is one positive that comes out of it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Much more eloquently put than mine.
Well, you kind of started it and it made me think about it while you were talking.
Wow.
Team effort.
Yeah.
And so you've both mentioned your kids as well. Do you find working for yourselves and with your husbands, it's easier to get that balance of like motherhood and running your business than it would be if you were in like a kitchen that's been run by someone else? I mean, do you find the hospitality is becoming a bit more kind of open to that, or is it just, do you think just being on your own business is best?
Sometimes I think it's great and sometimes I think it's hard. It's like I obviously have the flexibility to do my own hours. I can essentially do what I want as long as I'm making the business run and getting my work done, but then at the same time you really don't have an off switch. So I try really hard not to look at my phone, but then if there's an issue, I've got Fred, my little boy, and Dean's phoning me, and we've got rooms as well now, so somebody's phoning me, our customer's trying to check in and they don't, blah, blah, blah. And it's just quite a constant battle. And as I said, I then work literally every night on my laptop, unless I'm out, which is very rare for a social life. But then, on the flip side, sometimes, I am like, I wouldn't have this flexibility. I couldn't just leave if I needed to. It's pros and cons. I don't know. Roberta, you're obviously quite different because you're chef side, but.
No, honestly, like it does sound very similar as well. Where, I mean, one thing that I guess is different is that I've got myself into a place where, or we've got ourselves into a place where I'm actually not on the rota. So I do have that flexibility. And that allows me to still do those 3 days of work, whereas, like say, Sean does the opposite days. And then it gives me the time to have with Cara as well. But also, if something does happen, if they get ill, or if, suddenly it's like, as we know, children get ill all the time. And there is that flexibility to be able to then just jump home and sort of like, Sean is still on the rota, so that's where we don't have as much flexibility. Luckily with me, because I don't do as much kind of more. I do have like admin days and whatnot, but not to the same extent as yourself, Anna. So when I'm home, if I'm with Cara, then that is it. And I am able to focus a lot of my time on her. Of course, I'm in about 30 WhatsApp groups within the 3 restaurants. Which is hideous, and that is and I don't turn off the notifications, so there is always that pinging. And like I say, since it's only recently that we've really been starting to get a bit more structure, so this is kind of going from the craziness of Ardfern opening to just kind of plugging in the gaps, to me and Sean realizing this is not a good setup for us, because we were barely seeing each other basically. And Cara wasn't getting to see the two of us together, to now having a little bit more routine, and it's been really good, and it's not affected work either. So is definitely the way forward. And actually, the Little Chartroom's about to move from being open 7 days down to 5 days, which will again make, we'll wait and see, but it should make life a little bit more balanced and easier.
So Anna, you mentioned not having much of a social life, but you were both at the Scran Awards, which was a social occasion on a Monday night. And you both won awards. So Anna, I'm calling it Celentano's. Celentano's won Scottish Restaurant of the Year, and Roberta, you won Scottish Chef of the Year. So Anna, just starting with you, how did it feel, and what does it mean to you and your teams to win something? Like an award in general, but obviously I'm bigging up the Scran Awards.
I mean, I think it's always so nice to win an award, like particularly for the team, because we're like, look, you've been working so hard and look, it's paid off. Like it's just, and you feel like so proud of the team for doing that, and it really like boosts morale, especially when it has been really busy or really hard, like if you're short staffed and they've been working really hard, like long hours, it just like boosts morale. Dina and I were quite shocked, which I think you can see when we went onto stage. We were just like really happy to be included in the nominations or the finalists. But obviously, that was up against some pretty major restaurants, so we were really pleased. It's I think I said earlier, it's been a bit of a journey with Celentano's, and we've been working quite hard. So it's very, very nice for it to be recognised.
And Roberta, what about yourself?
Gosh, so much of the same. I really, really didn't think that I was winning that award, so I was an absolute blubbering mess on the stage. I think someone said to me before, "Are you nervous?" I was like, "No, because I'm not going to win." And then my name got called out, and I was like, "Oh God!" And I think I was visibly shaking. So very, very honoured to have won it. Like Anna said, to even just be considered. It was a really, really special moment. And I'm still a bit like, God, did that happen? So no, like absolutely, just blown away. And as I said on the night, I wouldn't be winning that award or be where I am with the restaurants that I have. And like I do other stuff out with the restaurants. I do events. I have a partnership with the Botanics. I do a lot of other bits and bobs. And I wouldn't manage to do any of that without the team that I have, the teams that I have in my restaurants. They allow me to take time out from the restaurant. They allow me to spend time with my daughter, and they allow me to grow each restaurant as they have been growing, and we all create things together, and we all build the menus together, it's so as much as the award was for me, it's for them as well. And it's just really exciting. I think it's amazing that we've got the Scran Awards. It's really exciting to really showcase what's happening in Scotland. Because there is a lot of talent in this country, and there's Scotland's got so much to shout about. So it's just continuing to put us on the map, and female leaders too, which is obviously very important as well. No, absolutely honoured.
And this is absolutely no disrespect to Dean, because I fully respect him as the chef, but he was obviously a finalist for Chef of the Year. And when I was reading it out, I was like, Dean Parker, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, you're up against Roberta. Sorry. Roberta's going to win. And he was like, oh. He was like, I mean, yeah, probably, but nice to be supported.
I thought he was going to win. Okay, I was literally saying, I was like, oh, okay, he's gonna get it. So, but thank you.
So I'm going to stay impartial on this as a Fifer. So Glasgow versus Edinburgh. Obviously, you're better your business in Edinburgh, Anna, you're in Glasgow. You guys have worked not just in those cities, but what do you think the main sort of differences are? I mean, Roberta, you touched on it in terms of you've got the Fringe and the festivals. I imagine you probably get a lot more tourists. And do you reckon that there's a sort of difference in palate or cuisine or what people are looking for in the different cities versus like the rest of Scotland as well? Or do you think this kind of local seasonal is very much, universal within Scotland and what people are looking for? And I'll come to you first, not Glasgow.
Well, I obviously haven't worked in Edinburgh, but I'd imagine it's a much more varied customer. We get so summer is quite touristy for us, but other than that, it's pretty much like Glasgow that's coming to us. So I'd imagine, Edinburgh's a bit more varied, but I don't know, in terms of restaurants, I feel like Edinburgh's almost like a bit more grown up than us, and Glasgow like a bit more ahead, because I think there's so many restaurants doing so many amazing things, whereas in Glasgow there are a lot of restaurants doing amazing things, but they're either not quite recognised yet, or they're newer, or there's not as many. I think, I think we're maybe like a little bit behind Edinburgh in terms of like what Glasgow offers. That makes sense. So.
And you came from London to Glasgow. Was that always the plan? Did you think about Edinburgh?
No, I'm from Glasgow. So it was actually Dean's from South Africa, but it was Dean that wanted to move back to Glasgow. I'm happy in Glasgow now, but I was very sad to leave London. But I mean, it would have been like completely unaffordable to open somewhere. And actually, similar to Ardfern, we were thinking about Celentano opening our own restaurant, and then Cathedral House became an opportunity as opposed to we seeked it out. So it kind of felt like at the time we can't say no to it, we just have to go. So we literally moved and opened the restaurant within like 3 weeks. It was a bit mad, yeah. So we've learned a lot in that time. Maybe 4, but it was, like moving, it was quite a lot. I think, we wouldn't have ever gone to Edinburgh, and that's not because Dean and I quite often go to Edinburgh to eat out. If we do have a day off, we go through to Edinburgh because we love so many restaurants there. And that is not because we don't love restaurants in Glasgow. It's just I feel like there's so many variations in Edinburgh, and we obviously spend all our time in Glasgow. So, wouldn't have gone to Edinburgh, but not because we don't love it.
And Roberta, what about yourself? So obviously you've three business in Edinburgh, and worked different places. Is it very tourist heavy, or what's your sort of view of Edinburgh as a food city?
It is very tourist heavy, and I don't know if I've felt it more this year or not. I'm not sure. It feels feel like it is much more in the summer, and I feel like that kind of summer period has been a bit longer. Maybe it's just because we have had such a great summer, so it's really felt like summer. But we've definitely had a lot of Americans actually. Like we've really, really noticed. I haven't done like a direct comparison on last year, but it really does feel like we've had a lot more this year, which is fantastic. And we do still get it throughout the year, especially coming around Christmas time again, you get that influx. But we have also a lot of support locally. People coming up from other parts of the UK. It's not just abroad. So no, it's very much a mix. And lots of people coming through from Glasgow. So yeah, all over. But no, I do feel, I guess Edinburgh's always been a city that it's very much a tourist destination. So yeah, it's very normal to have a much higher percentage of tourists coming than it would be from Glasgow. Are they looking for a certain cuisine? I
didn't answer that question.
I don't feel like it's. I think it's a really small percentage of people who are saying, "Oh, I really want to go and eat some haggis," or I want to, I really want to eat something that's Scottish. It does, of course, we do get it, but it's not. Fortunately, you can just go to Ardfern actually and have the full breakfast, and you can have some haggis there. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, it's haggis on the full breakfast. Sorry, we keep changing it. but I don't feel like it's people are seeking out our restaurants to come and eat that. If that makes sense. And I love Glasgow. I actually studied there. Well, I studied to be a chef there. And I always enjoy going back through. I've got some friends that live through there as well, so we go through there to see them quite a bit. And yeah, it's quite funny how different Edinburgh and Glasgow are from each other. I think there is an element of the food scene being is really, really different. The people are really different. But I think that's great to have that contrast. And yeah, I really, really enjoy going through and experiencing just completely different vibe.
The issue Dina and I have in Glasgow is that quite a lot of restaurants close on a Monday, Tuesday, as do we. So on our days off, loads of places are closed.
Yeah,
so handful of places that are open. Yeah.
That was one of the reasons why we decided to go 7 days at the Chartroom, and we're going to be closed on a Tuesday and Wednesday, because we looked at the data.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of flipped, like diner days out. It's a bit mixed.
Yeah, totally. I remember, like, pre-pandemic, a Sunday was like the kind of a really great day for us. And then after the pandemic, loads of restaurants decided to open on Sundays, and so that kind of evened out. And now a Monday is our new, like, really, it's a really, really, really good day in business. Yeah. So it's interesting how it keeps shifting.
Yeah, because even going to get a decent coffee now, a lot of coffee shops are shut Monday, Tuesday. I always forget, and I'm like, oh, there's nowhere open.
I recently moved to Bearsden, which is just slightly outside of Glasgow, and there is literally no coffee shops. Well, there is, but not a decent coffee. I may as well make it at home. No decent coffee shops open like Monday, Tuesday, like literally none. So
the days that you're actually looking for one, I have a friend who lives in Bearsden, and her husband, he is not like I don't exactly know what he does, but something I don't know. But his retirement plan is he loves coffee, and he really wants to open up his own coffee place. So if you wait, like, I don't know when he's going to retire. If you wait like 30 years, you'll eventually open up a decent.
Might have died of tiredness by then. I mean, it's saved me a lot in like coffee and croissants. I used to, when I lived like West End, I used to always go out for coffee and take Fred for pastry. And now I'm like, oh, nowhere's open. I'll just stay home.
Well, I'm West End, and they're quite a lot of them are shut around about here. So you'd be saving if you were still here. There's only one that's
anyway, there's a business opportunity here for Anna.
Over a coffee shop in the West End.
I'll do that most
and Anna, do you want to tell us a bit about the rooms that have just opened that you mentioned earlier?
They've been open for a year now. So they were, when we opened Celentano's 4 years ago, they were being run by the landlord. She just kept them on. She wanted to step back a year ago, so it made sense for us to take over them. Dean has been talking about it basically since we opened here. So, it's nice actually. It's just additional admin, but it's actually nice to offer. I didn't know how many people would actually encourage to eat and sleep here, but actually it's a lot. Like the amount of people that are having dinner here and staying here is increased since before we were running the room. So it's really nice to offer a customer like a full experience. Breakfast is made all by the chef, so it's like our kind of version of the little continental breakfast. So we deliver it to the rooms. We've got little trays. We make sure all rooms are set up with little tables, or the trays are like, we encourage like breakfast in bed basically. So it's like fresh yogurt, seasonal compote. There's fresh fruit in the room. We make granola, fresh bread, cheese, butter, and there's always like a little sweet like baked thing. So at the moment it's like an orange and polenta cake thing. So it's always kind of varies just what Dean feels like that week. But yeah, it's nice actually. It's been good. I was quite nervous to take it on at first. It was quite a lot, but actually it feels like even the team, like the restaurant team, I do all the admin behind it, so they were kind of having to deal with hotel guests anyway, but they didn't necessarily know information because it was somebody else that was running them. But now it feels like all very inclusive. The team all know what's going on and guests know what's going on and they know like what we offer. Yeah, it's been nice actually. Surprisingly, I can say that a year later, but it's nice now. I know what I'm doing now.
And Roberta, on the podcast, we often ask other chefs when they come on some of their favourite places to eat, and Little Chartroom's come up quite a few times. So, is it quite important to sort of have that peer, you know, I don't want to say respect, like just people coming in who are other chefs and like enjoying what you're doing, and Anna, probably the same question to you because I'm assuming you guys will have, you know, similar thing.
Yeah. Oh my God, totally. It's kind of, it's immense in some ways what you do, because there's, you know, if the people who are in your peers who are wanting to eat and enjoy eating in your establishments, and it just, it suggests that what you're doing, obviously we believe in what we do and we get lovely guest feedback. But to have, your peers come and say wonderful things and enjoy it, and it's, I mean, that's it. That's not everything that you're after, but it really does. It's like icing on the cake. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a nice feeling if there's somebody that comes in that's from another restaurant, whether it's like front of house person or a chef, like manager or chef. It's always, I agree. You don't necessarily look for it, but then when they come in, you're like, oh, that's a really nice feeling that they've chosen to come and eat with us and hopefully enjoy. And I mean, Dean's always had the thought of like, you need to treat hospitality well when they come in. So we always want to make sure any chefs or anybody, even like people that used to work for us and are now managers at other restaurants in Glasgow, when they come in, we're always like, want to make sure they have the best time, because we just feel, really happy that they've chosen to come and eat with us, because obviously they enjoy food and they enjoy eating out. So it's nice to choose them.
Yeah. And just to sort of wrap up, do you guys have any future plans for the year? Anything happening next year that you can let us know about? Roberta, come to you. You open another restaurant?
No more restaurants. No. I have this question quite a lot recently, and everyone's like, oh, and I'm just like, no, sorry. No plans. No more expanding. 3 is a lovely number. I mean, never say never, but I think we would, it would be too much. And also there's so much more, like each business that we have so much more to do with them, and we really want to focus on them and make them into the best versions of themselves that they can be. So consolidating, I think, is the plan. We actually, like, it's a bit separate, but for myself, Sean, our sommelier for Ardfern and for Little Chartroom, and our operations manager, our sommelier Finn, and our operations manager Joe, we all have gone into a separate business together of importing wine.
I buy them for Celentanos.
Yeah, we supply Celentanos. It's really cool. Awesome business. I think Sean might be coming through today, actually. Anyway, I also might be wrong, but so that's been obviously completely separate to the restaurants. But I mean, when we started it up a year ago, but we're now, it's been sort of, it takes time like any business does. And this is something completely new to all of us. And so now we're just kind of really trying to build the portfolio that we have with regards to who we supply, but also just the actual amount of wine that we have. Because we now have a few different wines that we're now buying in. It's not just, I think, possibly when we purged Celentano, maybe just one kind. I can't remember actually how many we had, but it has been, okay, cool. I don't have much to do with it. I wonder if you can tell. So one of the biggest focuses, I guess, separately to the restaurants, is to really push that a little bit further. And and see where that can take us. And hopefully I'll get to go on one of the trips too, because they've so far been on the trips to go and taste the wine in the different countries. So I'm pushing for a trip to Champagne.
Oh, nice. That'll be good. And Anna, what about yourself? You guys got any plans for the rest of the year?
Rest of the year, we're currently trying to get our thoughts together for Christmas and make sure it's a good one. We're focusing on that today, like thinking of menus, and we've got quite a few private events, so we're really pushing them. We do quite a lot of them anyway. It tends to be like little intimate weddings that we do, but we have quite a lot. We've had quite a lot over summer and quite a lot at the end of the year. So focusing on them, and then we are working on a few bits for 2026, but not finalised anything. So I don't mean that it's like a big exciting reveal, but yeah, we're thinking of 2026 and making some plans, some good plans, I'd say.
Nice. Well, congratulations again on the awards, and thank you so much for joining us. It's been lovely to chat to you guys on Scran for the first time, and nice to see you as well. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having us.